Hi, Teron, can you see me? You know. Okay, I just put everybody on mute because I was getting some background, but you are able to unmute yourself if you want to speak. I'm going to put us in presentation mode in a second once looks like we're close to, like, we do have a quorum. And I don't think you can see me, but that's cool. Hopefully everyone can hear me.
I can hear you, Alvin.
Hey, Alvin, good morning. And so I didn't put your, actually I did put your name on the agenda. Congratulations.
Okay.
I know you're excited. It's okay. I know you're excited. So good morning, everyone. It's 10:35 now. I think we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to put us in presentation mode and let me know if you can't see anything or if you're having any trouble seeing the presentation, let me know. So today is our general body meeting. This is our actual first 100% virtual meeting thanks to the coronavirus. And I hope everyone is enjoying sheltering in place. This is our agenda for today. So I'm going to quickly run through it. Of course, you can all see it and read it. These are the first thing is that we need to accept, actually open with prayer, then accept the agenda. Then I want to give you some updates from the National Alumni Association regarding coronavirus. Then, of course, we're going to go through everything else. Does anyone desire to open us up with a prayer? You can unmute yourself. I am not the best prayer person, but I can do it because I also love Jesus. But if anybody wants to pray, please go ahead and unmute yourself. I'll give you a few seconds to do that.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll do the prayer.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, Father, for waking us up this morning, and thank you for keeping us all safe in the midst of what is going on in the country. Today, we ask that you would bless, keep safe, and protect all Xavier rights and all people, as a matter of fact, through this ordeal. We ask for your prayers and blessing on our leadership as they guide us through this. We ask for your prayers on this meeting, that it may be efficient and that we all may grow and love our institution in a higher and better manner. Keep us safe in your arms, this we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie. Amen. Okay, so may I have a motion to accept the agenda, or are there any changes to the agenda before we do that?
Denise, I just have a quick question. This is Calandra.
Mhm.
Were you? I noticed I didn't skim. You didn't mention. Are you planning on saying anything about the scholarship being posted?
Yes, we can add that in. So I obviously did miss quite a few things in the agenda. And so I was trying to remember everything. But yes, we should speak about the scholarship. So let's add that in after correspondence. And so I'll adjust the agenda and I can send this out to everyone when we're done, but I'll adjust this agenda to reflect that we're going to add, instead of C being the National Alumni Association update, I'm going to adjust it to make C the discussion about the scholarship. So our scholarship released, and so we need to discuss that. And then everything else will push down. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. May I have a motion to accept the adjusted agenda?
One more thing, Denise, I didn't see the Mardi Gras ball on there. Am I overlooking it?
No, I didn't put it on here.
Okay.
So why don't we just adjust the agenda? This is,
I'm
sorry. No, that's fine because I don't have all the answers. That's why I need help. So I'm just, and how about that? Oh, hopefully y'all can see. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I made the change. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Okay. So looking for a motion to accept this updated agenda. You have to take yourself off mute.
So moved.
Thank you, Theron. We have a
Second.
motion. Okay, a second. All right,
Third.
that's okay. Thank you very much. So let's move forward with this agenda. The first thing we want to do is talk about the coronavirus changes. And this is came out of an emergency meeting that we had with the Board of Governors and Patrice Mercadale and Kimberly Reese. Patrice Mercadale is the Chief of Staff at Xavier for the President, and Kimberly Reese, of course, we all know Kim, is our VP of Alumni Affairs and I think Institutional Advancement now. What I have here on the screen, this is the notes for this are much, much longer. These are some high-level feedback that we received. So the last day of living in the dorms was actually on Wednesday, the 19th. So they're trying to, was it the 19th? Or that was the 18th, I'm sorry. So I have the date here wrong. The last day of living in the dorms was the 18th. And so the students are being assisted by Xavier moving off campus. There is an online exception form that if students weren't able to leave at that time that they could fill out asking for help. So what I did ask on the call, and this is of particular concern to us, is we need to know what students weren't able to go. If they couldn't afford to leave or they didn't have a place to go if they were leaving. Some of them are international students. And so we're trying to find out who has remained on campus and who actually needs help. And of course, I'm specifically concerned with anybody from this area who might need help. So that was on Friday that they needed to turn in that form. So we're now waiting for the update from the university on what's next. Who's there and what kind of help are they looking for? What do they need? They were off of class on Thursday and Friday so that they could finish their work, but classes are going to resume on Monday, and it's 100% online for the rest of the semester. Give Love Xavier, the phone-a-thon that was scheduled for later this month, Give Love Xavier is supposed to happen on the 7th. Phone-a-thon where we all get the calls and, you know, we start getting those messages from Kim Reese. All of those things have been postponed, including graduation. So we don't have a new date for any of those things. Kim did tell us that they're going to send a letter out to alumni, and it's going to let us know how we can help and just continually provide updates. And so we saw the video, I think a video came out from Curtis and a video came out from Dr. Verrett. And what they're trying to do is just make sure people are continually updated. They found that people tend to respond better to videos a little more easily than all of the documents. And I can attest that that's true for me as well, because I'm reading enough. So if they can give us the quick and dirty of what's needed, that's what we're looking for. They're also setting up what's called a care fund. This is specifically to help students that are affected by the COVID-19 crisis. And it's going to function similarly to the graduation fund. Students can still apply for the escape fund, but the monies from this fund that's being set up are specifically for this virus in a set amount of time. So it's not going to continue past this event. And hopefully we will soon get past this event. There was concern regarding students' work study issues and things like that. So work study, their financial aid is going to continue. They're giving students a credit for those students who had work study for their financial aids. They're providing them a credit. And then they are receiving a credit for their room and board. Some students might still have an outstanding balance, so they're probably still going to be looking for help. And that's where they're going to be looking for financial help from the alumni to step in, as we've been doing in the past, where we help students with graduation and things like that, and trying to clear their balances so they can graduate. There might be a little additional help that kids are needing. And one of the major things that I wanted to touch on, these kids are missing graduation, right? They've been studying for like 4 to 6 years or more trying to get here. And so they're incredibly hurt, they're incredibly sad, and you can only imagine what they're going through from a mental health perspective. So that's one of the major things. I don't know how we can respond to that. I honestly don't know. I don't know how we can help in that way. But if we do have any occasion to deal with the kids, I would say, please keep that in mind, that this has got to be extremely emotional for them, as well as any students who were in the Katrina class, right? Because this is a reunion year for them. And this is a lot. So I know it's a lot for all of us. We're having our very first 100% virtual meeting. So this is a lot for us as well. But let's keep in mind for the kids that they're missing out on their graduations. They just held their elections and then they're gone. So they're not able to be on campus and celebrate with their friends and things like that. This is a big deal. So that's the update. The updates we received on the call I have here are more than 3 pages. But did anybody have any questions about this that I can answer? Okay. Okay, so we'll go on then to old business. Our chapter activities. So in January, we had the ASBC HBCU Festival. That's the Alfred Street Baptist Church Festival. We had the HBCU Night with the Wizards in February. We released our Xavierites video March the 1st. And then we had XU Comes to You, which is the admitted students reception. That was on March I want to say it was the 7th or 8th. I can't remember which day is a Saturday. but that was at the Cleveland Park Library. So if you see some of the pictures from some of those things, I don't have any pictures from XU Comes to You because I was actually videoing, so I was live during that time. And so you can see the live video on our Facebook. But this is on the left is a picture from the HBCU Night with the Wizards, Alfred Street Baptist Church. We get slammed here, so we don't have in place currently a team of people who are ready and available. We have Alessandra, who is our outreach coordinator, has been coordinating our college fairs, but we don't have like a team in place of people that if any of these events come up, these people are ready to mobilize and go to an event. And that's one of those things that we really do need, probably not right now as everything's been suspended. It would be something to look at for next year, but Xavier is very, very popular. And so the kids who come, they want to be doctors. Just about all of them have heard or saw on PBS, or I don't know where the information's coming from. I'm glad that our story is getting out there, but we're very, very popular. And so the kids, if anybody in future is able to volunteer for college fairs, please reach out to the chapter, send us an email. We could always use the help. And again, that's probably not going to be for this year, it's going to be for next year, but that's one of the things we want to look at. The Our Xavierite series is our series of videos that we're doing where we're interviewing alumni and asking them about their Xavier story, about their current professional life, how they were prepared from by Xavier and from an HBCU. And so our first participant was Greg Lee from class of '96, and so we shared information about him. And the video is a little rough because I took the video. I'm getting better, but we're still looking for participants for that. Obviously, our videos moving forward may have to be online. So we might use a Zoom forum where we're still recording and then we can share the information, but we're not going to be recording necessarily in person. So we'll have to look into that moving forward. But those are the old business items that we had. I don't believe I'm missing anything. Y'all let me know if I am. So then new business. The first thing up is the treasurer's report. And you can unmute yourself, Andre.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Sorry. So our beginning balance in January 18th was $8,896.92. We had a total income of $8,680, which included dues, Mardi Gras ticket sales, Mardi Gras donations, and sponsorship for the fundraising event. Expenses were $642.14, and that was for the crab feast, for the rental for that event, the leadership conference, the one that Xavier started doing. I guess that's every year until next year, and then it's every 2 years. Then there were Mardi Gras ball expenses, photography services, paper tickets, and that left us with a total revenue of $8,037.86. So now our ending balance is $16,934.78. Are there any questions on the treasurer's report? Okay, I guess, is there a motion to accept the report as it is?
I believe we need do we need a motion to accept? I don't know, the parliamentary. Theron, I'm looking at you. You have to take yourself off mute and tell me.
Yes, we do. It's a report.
I move to accept the report.
Thank you, Elise.
Second, somebody? Anybody? Elise made a motion. So
I'll second it too. Anyway, it's submitted for audit. I move to accept the report and submit for audit.
okay, and somebody did say they accepted. If you just say who you are, because we can't see necessarily. This is being recorded, but please just state who you are and that you're seconding, so that way we can have it recorded.
It's Alessandra, I second.
Thank you. All right, so we are accepting this report. On to the next thing. Under new business, the next thing is, correspondence. So we received various correspondences throughout the year in terms of our email, and most of it's like junk mail or just things we received from Board of Governors and things like that, that all of it wouldn't make our correspondence. This was a piece of correspondence that chapter actually got. I shared this, some of the text of it, but we received an email from Danielle Williams, who was very happy after the XU Comes to You event, and because of that event, she's made the decision to attend Xavier in the fall. So it's very, very exciting to see something like that, and that we're obviously, the alumni are making a direct impact. So this was really great news. But this was like the one correspondence item we did receive. We'll sometimes receive things in our social media inboxes or things like that about other things that we could join. A lot of times we receive requests to do college fairs. So I spoke to you briefly on that. I won't reiterate it. The next is our DC HBCU Alumni Alliance update. And this is Jamila. Jamila, are you online?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the HBCU Alumni Alliance will be having a college awareness and planning for careers in STEM workshop on May 2nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Kaiser Permanente Center for Total Health in DC. This is a workshop for students 9th through 12th grade, and registration closed on March 20th. The HBCU Walk Run is scheduled for July 11th at 8 a.m. at Freedom Plaza. And as of March 8th, we had three participants signed up for Xavier. And the Black Tie Gala is scheduled for September 26th at the National Portrait Gallery. Any questions?
I do have a question about the May 2nd event. Are they still moving forward with that?
We haven't had any correspondence about that yet. This is as of the meeting that we had this month.
Okay. I would just suggest again that if you have not registered for the event, I have not registered, but I do plan to, for the walk run, please do so. This is an easy scholarship event for us. So if you can, please consider registering for the event. It's just money. And this year we have, I think they said we have a vendor or a sponsor who's donated enough that all of our money is now going to be 100% money in our pockets. So everything that we put out there, we'll get back. And I did put out a challenge that if we have at least 25 registrations by April the 25th, I will actually run this event.
Denise, can I ask a question about the
Sure.
event?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't participated. I'm usually away for work during the summer, and this summer I'm going to be here. But what's the date for that? Well, I guess the proposed date, since we don't know what's going to happen with stuff.
It's currently July the 11th.
July 11th. And is this an event where the entire family can participate? Like, do kids participate?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's a 5K run, 2K walk, and there's a community day. So there's vendors out there selling things. But yeah, it's a nice event.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, 100% of what we raise is going to be money in our pockets that we can use specifically for our scholarships. So I think it would be wonderful if we have that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions for Jamila regarding HBCU Alumni Alliance? Okay. Let me go back to the agenda. So the next thing was the, sorry, I had DMV scholarship. So this would be you, Calandra.
Okay, so I guess I just wanted to say that we did get the scholarship online, and the deadline for applying for the scholarship is May 29th. So I had already pushed it back a couple of weeks from when it's usually due. So I guess now more so students should appreciate that with everything that's going on. And we had a tentative date set for July 10th to let them know about the scholarship. So I guess my question was in terms of the students in that local area finding out about the scholarship and being able to have the opportunity, they should still be able to submit, because most things could be submitted, if not everything, electronically. And so did we push out, or do I need to push out something to them?
I don't think that you need to push out anything to them. So when we had the XU Comes to You event, and I can't remember if that Saturday was the 7th or the 8th in March, but when we had that event, we did print little cards that had this important date on there for the scholarship, as well as on the back of the card, it has all the ways they can reach the chapter. So we listed our email, our website, our Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, everything we have has the date for the scholarship on there, as well as how they can reach out to us. And so we'll continue to market the scholarship and let people know it's out there and it's available. Make sure you apply.
Denise, what's the monetary figure for the scholarships?
It's $1,000.
Are we doing 2 or just 1?
So we, last year, were able to do 2, and I'm not sure the money that we've been putting toward it, part of that was from our Mardi Gras ball. So we may be able to do 2, but I'm not sure, since our Mardi Gras ball has been pushed back, and Reggie will talk about that next.
Well, I say if we did 2 last year, let's just do 2 this time. I don't know what monetary figure we're deficient in, but I mean, it can be good to keep it.
Okay, thank you. Was there anything else regarding scholarship? Okay, go ahead.
Also, I think everybody should share to their account on social media the scholarship. 1, it advertises the scholarship, and 2, it advertises us to let people know that we are doing things.
Good idea.
And I guess my only other thing, I will be sending out an email to see, we are going to need a couple of people to help review the applications once we get them. Last year, we had about 4 members on the committee, so I'll be looking for 4 or 5 additional people to help review the scholarships in June.
So, and I'm sorry, just want to clarify. So at least 2 possibly, but for 3, it may be an issue to do 3, right? For a monetary $1,000.
Yeah, so we haven't voted on a number of scholarships yet, and we'll have to figure that out, because a portion of we were counting on Mardi Gras ball funds, so we're still responsible to pay the facility for the event, so we don't know the amount that we would have gotten from auction items and things like that. And so now the scholarship, that scholarship event is going to happen after we would be giving our scholarship. So I don't know if it will be 3. We'll have to have a meeting to discuss if that's possible.
Can the alumni members help out for that to ensure that? I mean,
Of course. So if you want to make a donation, you can always make a donation to the chapter for our scholar, and just specifically that it's for scholarships.
Denise, do you have the number of students who not necessarily attended the Xavier Comes to You, but that they've made admission offers to in the area, just so I could have an idea of what the potential?
There were 34, I think, at the XU Comes to You event. Last year, we had 60 from Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia who were accepted. We had 44 who were invited to our freshman send-off who actually paid their deposit, and that was for last year. So the actual students who came, I think we might have had like somewhere between 25 and 30. But yeah, I think we had 44 who were deposit paid last year.
Okay.
Calandra, I'll help you with reviewing if you still need people.
Okay, thank you.
I can as well. This is Elegant.
Okay, thanks, Elegant.
Were there any other questions about scholarship? Okay, then I'm going to go on to the Mardi Gras Ball. So that is you, Reggie.
Hey, everybody. So our new date is October 24th. So we were able to keep the location at the Camelot, so that's good. The band is still available on that date, so we have the band. The DJ that was selected is not available on the 24th, so we will be working on getting a new DJ for that particular date. At our last count, we were about 180 committed tickets. I still want to get that up to 200, so maybe the extra time may work to our benefit in that. So if anyone has not purchased a ticket or tickets, even if you can't attend, if you purchase tickets, of course, that will help with our scholarship funding after all expenses are paid. And if you can't come and you buy 1 or 2 tickets, then we can at least offer those tickets to some of those students who are interested or who will be attending Xavier. Well, I guess they'll be gone in October, but at least we can get it to some students who are interested in coming. So I really want everybody to support the event, even if you can't come, but preferably I love you to be there. We're doing a lot to make it a very, very nice event this year. We have some surprise auction items. Again, the entertainment will be live, so that will be good. We have a lot of giveaways, and everybody on the committee is really working hard to make it a very nice event that all age groups can enjoy, and that we will be proud of for something that we put on with the name of Xavier. So I just ask everybody to support. And if you have some items or know of a company where you can seek sponsorship, that will be great. That would definitely help with the bottom line with funds that we have left over for scholarships. So we have a lot of time left now for everyone to seek out scholarships and personal items for the auction, as well as the giveaway section of the ball. Any questions?
Reggie, I'm wondering, are you all running into anything with the tickets that have been purchased already and those people that were expecting it to be in April? Have you sent out anything? Is the consensus that they would just keep the ticket for October, or will people be able to get refunds, or how is that going to work?
Well, we're not offering refunds. So far, we have not, I'll say on the Xavier side, we have not received any pushback or any questioning about the date change. I know there were some questions, initial questions from the committee members from Dillard, because they have an event coming up around that time, but nothing more from them since they initially put that out. We were concerned about, initially we were going to have it in September, but that's around CBC time. So October actually may work out better in terms of timeline, weather, and everything, but no pushback as of yet.
Do you think it's fair though, where we don't offer people refunds? The only reason I say it is that I paid for a conference, a pharmacy conference, and right now they said they were refunding that money, but I have no idea when that's going to come though.
Well, I mean, that's something we can discuss while we're here. You know, my initial thought is the whole intent of the fund is to support scholarships, not necessarily for
Party.
the event itself or party itself. So, you know, we can discuss that here. And if we do get people who began to ask for refunds, you know, we can make that appeal that the funds are intended for scholarship, but, you know, that's something that each individual will have to reconcile with themselves.
So I would say absolutely not. I'm not issuing any refunds. It states when you purchase the ticket that there are no refunds. I do understand that the date changed, but this isn't a party. This is a scholarship event. So they can always donate their tickets if they want to do so. But the whole purpose of this, and so the thing is, I can't do anything about the coronavirus, right? Because this was tough for everyone. But I also don't want to have kids suffer more by saying, now you're not going to get these scholarship monies because we can't afford it, because we had to give everybody their money back because they couldn't come to the party. So I think we should put out a statement from the chapter. I think that's the right thing to do, to put out a statement from the chapter stating to people how deeply regretful that we are that we're having to push the event back. It's been rescheduled for this date. We are not able to refund their funds because we're still committed to pay either way. So we still have to pay for the event. We can't cancel it. We can only postpone it. So I'm appreciative of the donations that they've made if they're not going to be able to come, or if they want to turn theirs over to somebody else. But I just can't see how financially we could even support. I don't think it's a great idea to give people their money back, but I don't see how financially we could support that.
Okay, I got you. I was just bringing that up. Thanks.
And the reason why, you know, I was asking, you know, as Xavier writes, I'm sure many of us will be okay with, I hadn't even purchased my tickets yet, but I plan on getting it. But I'm just wondering the legalities in terms of like the general public and what's, you know, how does that reflect on us? If we make the decision that there's no refunds, I just wanted to know, in the event that, you know, that discussion was coming down the line, how are we going to handle it, or just have us think about how we're going to handle it?
So most of our ticket sales right now, we do have some Xavier Wright who bought individual tickets, but most of our ticket sales have come from a few people who actually sold tables. And as far as I know, none of those people have said any of their guests have. And you know, really, I think what a lot of people did is they bought the table. I know, like, I'll just personally, for me, I bought the table, and then the people who are coming, they, you know, purchased the tickets or repaid me or what have you. So none of them have stated that they wanted a refund or what have you. And none of the other Xavierites that I know who actually bought tickets have said so either. So right now we are in a good space with the people who have committed with ticket purchase, I would say.
This is Elise speaking. I think it's a good idea, and all of the thoughts and sentiments that have been expressed are very good. But if there's someone really with some extenuating circumstances and they really actually demanding or really requesting a return, I think we should give it a return. I don't think we'll have that many, But I think just to keep the peace and to keep from having any complications and bad taste, et cetera, given the circumstances, and I think most people understand the circumstances, that we would just refund it. Just a thought, and I think it would save a lot of unnecessary feelings.
You know, and if we do a return, you set a certain timeline, maybe in a week or two, or maybe 3 weeks. Hey, this is the time if you want to return that. If we do that, set a timeline in it. You know, so they have 3 weeks if they want to do it. After that 3-week period is gone, then we keep their money.
And this just sounds like dread and doom, I know, but suppose this thing goes on, you know, what are we gonna do? It's not gonna go on, but I'm just saying, you know, we might be faced with another kind of shutdown of some sort. We don't know. But we'll deal with it when it comes to pass in the best way. I know we'll handle it in the best way possible.
Okay. So I think we can, I appreciate all of the feedback. I think I've made my opinion known. What we should do is have an executive board meeting regarding that, and we need to go through the numbers. We need to financially look at it from the executive board standpoint, as well as from the Mardi Gras Ball Committee, and see if we can financially support that. So I think everybody had a really good idea. I appreciate all your feedback. We'll take this back and make a decision on what will be done and how it can be done.
And I'm sorry, but is Dillard, what are they doing? Because they're selling tickets as well.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what
Probably
Dillard
same
is.
way we're doing it.
I don't know what Dillard is doing. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I will let you reach out and ask them, Reggie, as Mardi Gras Ball Chair. That's one for you.
I got it.
Was there anything else regarding the Mardi Gras Ball? Okay, so the next is the National Alumni Association update. And sorry, I went out of order. I forgot the order of the agenda when I wasn't looking at it. But so this was the actual Board of Governors meeting that we had, not the emergency one. But one of the things that they're still pushing is the endowed scholarship, the alumni endowed scholarship that they're attempting to raise $1 million by 2025. So 2025 is our 100th. And so the goal is for us to have the $1 million endowed alumni chapter alumni association scholarship. And so they're wanting people to pledge $1,000 per year for the next 5 years, or if you can pay your $5,000 all at once, of course, do that. Excuse me, the point is for us to get to the $1 million. And so if anyone is interested in starting their pledge, please reach out to the alumni chapter, XUClub5@gmail.com, and we will coordinate with the National Alumni Association to get your paperwork started for you.
So Denise, I have a question. So is that the plan that individuals who want to participate in the challenge go through their local alumni clubs?
No, you won't be going through your local alumni club for that. I'm just putting you, the alumni is just putting you, our chapter is just putting you in touch with the National Alumni Association, because there's a form to fill out. If you, we can probably just send you the information, but I'm saying it might be easier for you to just contact us and we make sure we facilitate it for you. But no, that is not coming through the chapter.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So one of the other things we talked about at the alumni meeting was the XU Comes to You. We called them yield events, but now they're calling it XU Comes to You. So we discussed that as well, and things that can be improved upon moving forward. One of the major things we discussed was communication, that the admissions office does not communicate with the alumni in the way that they should when they're asking for our assistance with things. Or even that they chose to have this event at Cleveland Park Library, where there is absolutely no parking. And I'm so happy that people made it work, but that's like a real concern. So we would like for them to communicate with us a lot more and do a better job of communicating with us on any events that might be coming up or something like that. Just so if you want our help with something, just that they recognize that all of you are professionals and you're volunteering your time. So I would like for them to be cognizant of that and to be more respectful of that moving forward. So that was it for the National Alumni Association, the updates outside of the coronavirus. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I have one quick question about the endowed scholarship. And I know it's early, but have they started to lay out a plan for what the requirements for
Yes.
the scholarship? Okay.
Yes. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, I'll send you the information over so that you can get started. Some people have already completed their $5,000 pledge. So if it's something you know that there's something you're interested in, even if you can't do $5,000, right? If you can only do, 1,000 over the next 5 years, whatever you can do, they're going for the $5,000. But if you can only do 1,000 or like 200 a year, whatever, that's fine too. Don't let the amount hold you back, because this is a scholarship that's just alumni generated. And so we would be with an endowed scholarship, once we've hit the number, then it continues to generate income that we can continue to support our kids. Any other questions? All right, then that's it for the National Alumni Association updates. Elegance and Alvin, you are up for the Crab Feast membership event.
Alvin, did you want to start since you actually went down? We have a date, first of all. Thank you, Alvin and Denise. The date is going to be on the 20th of June. It looks like we have the park. It's been reserved at Haynes Point we have the entire day, but we do need to figure out a time. And so I was hoping that maybe we could discuss that around this time. Alvin, you said that there's parking there, right?
Yeah, so parking's not an issue, tons of parking. A lot of benches too, but yeah, I think the most concern is really the time. It's reserved from 9 to 9, so definitely have a lot of time, but the question is what time should we start it? I don't think we're going to be out there till 9, but that's the piece. Also, one of the things to talk about is kind of like from the food standpoint, what are we like, what are people going to be able to donate? I'm not a fan, of people bringing like their dishes and stuff, but but that's the thing we just kind of talk about to figure out like what are we going to have, like maybe like chicken, hot dogs and stuff, and then who's going to grill too, because we can have a grill as well.
So maybe like pre-packaged foods. I know, Denise, you said that we didn't really have much money like allotted for it. We pretty much just have money for the crabs themselves, right?
No, that's not what I said. So okay. This is a 100% free event to all financial alumni members. So what the chapter will pay for is we will provide bushels of crab as well as another protein and like a salad. So we'll probably get a couple of those things. But if people want to bring other things, and I'm sure we'll provide like water, bottles of water and ice. Right? But if people want to bring other things, because it's a cookout. I hate the word picnic, but it's a cookout. So if people want to bring things for a cookout, they're fine to do that. Bring your chairs, bring your tents or whatever, and it's just a family day to come out and have a good time. So is it going to be 100% catered? No. What we'll provide is the bushels of crab and probably a protein item and some other like cold salad item or something like that, because it'll be a hot day. But that's pretty much it as far as what I've thought. What I would like for you to do is to come up with what you would like to see at the event and a budget, because ultimately, whatever we do, we'll need to know how much we should have. So come up with whatever items you think should be at this cookout event, and then we can look at that. But I won't say that we don't have any money. We do have money for the event, but what that will ultimately be, I don't know what we're getting, so I'm not sure.
I would recommend too. I mean, grilling we can grill on the site though, but I mean, I don't know who's a good griller or who has a grill that they can actually bring, so we can cook some of that stuff on the site though.
Did you have a time that you were thinking about?
Well, I think.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, I was thinking early afternoon to give people a chance to, give us a chance to set up. And if there's anything last minute that comes up, early afternoon, maybe like, I don't know, like 2-ish. I don't know. What you think, Alvin?
Well, I was thinking maybe like 12 to 1 or so. I mean, because that prep time we'll have early in the morning to get everything set. And hopefully people will be there by 12, you would think. But I don't know. I mean, what does everyone feel? Is 12 or 2? I mean, what does the group feel? I mean, what does people feel? It'd be helpful to get their opinion.
12
Well,
o'clock.
I think when people come to an event like that, they come in ready to eat. So it's going to definitely be around an eating time. So lunchtime and dinner time. So if we do something like 12 to 4 and prep time be from 9 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. I mean, if we're just throwing out personal ideas, I'm not a summer person, so midday is just, I'm miserable. Me personally, I prefer to start a little later in the evening, go closer towards when it's getting darker, then people know that it's time to go home. But that's just me.
Well, I like the earlier time. My personal opinion is I like the earlier time because people have children, and this is a family event, so people don't like being out after dark, and I don't think people necessarily want to have their kids out after dark. Obviously, it's going to be bright later in the day, but I like the earlier time, so starting like 12 to 4, I think sounds good too. And if people want to stay out there later, they can, but in terms of an actual start time, I prefer the earlier start.
Right. And I have the access to go to the military to get, like, if people want to do tug of war, if there's other things, events, I don't know, that maybe we can bring out there as well. Okay. But I like the 12. I mean, the 12 o'clock, 12 to 4 seems good. I mean, we have it until 9. So people do want to stay.
What time do you want us to get there to help you set up?
I would think not. I'm sorry, go ahead, Elegant. What you think?
Oh, no. I was going to say the same thing. Someone mentioned 9 earlier. I think that's fine. I mean, it can change. We have so much time in between there. That may change. And we don't even know if, hopefully we'll still have this in June. So.
Yeah, I like the 9 o'clock too. That gives us at least 3 hours of prep time to get that. I mean, because undoubtedly, if someone is bringing meat, they're going to be seasoned and stuff, and then the grill time, because we want to have it when people show up at 12 o'clock, we're ready to go. We're ready to serve food and stuff. So I like the 9 o'clock prep time.
And Denise, Alvin and I had discussed like a list of foods and everything, so we can email you what we think, just a tentative list of to help with the whole budgeting business.
Awesome.
Are we allowing alcohol?
No, you're
no alcohol.
No. So let me not say no. What I will say is you are not allowed to have open containers on the park. If you have a cup that you put something in, that is your business. But you cannot have open bottles or anything like that on site. So if you have like a cooler or something that you're keeping your bottles of alcohol in, then yes, you can have alcohol, but you cannot have them open on site. That's not allowed.
You know what? Are you sure about? I thought it said no alcohol on that thing. I mean, I know that's
I said what I said.
Well,
So no, this is how it works at the park. You can't have you can't be out there with your Seagram's gin thing, right? You can't have that. If you are even pouring Seagram's gin, you can't be like, oh, I'm pouring it in my personal cup. No, you literally have to be in your container or whatever and pour your stuff, and you can keep it like that, but you're not prevented from having whatever you want to bring, but you can't have an open container. The park police will come and remove it.
I don't know, but I think we need to check on that. The one thing I don't want us to be thrown out of the park because we're violating the rules. I don't think alcohol was permitted last time I checked, but
So it is not, but what I just gave you is true information. So my cigar club, we have our events at the park every month when it's nice weather and not coronavirus. So this is the information one of the officers gave us. Look, no, you can't have open containers, but if they don't see it, that's it. So that's up to you if you want to do that. I am not telling you to bring alcohol.
No, I see what you're saying, but I mean, I'm the type of person that if the rules are that way, you shouldn't just say, hey, alcohol is not permitted. Now, if someone brings it, okay, but the last thing we need is to be thrown out of the park. Because
you're not going to be thrown out of the park.
You never know.
No, you're not. It's good. It's fine.
This is going to be a huge group.
I understand.
Get alcohol.
It's a smaller group than my cigar club. We'll be fine. We're not going to get thrown out of the park. But I don't think you should bring alcohol, specifically you, because I want you to be okay.
Alcohol should just not be permitted, period.
I would agree.
I'm not doing that.
No.
I agree.
You gotta go by the rules of the park, and if anybody wants to take a chance, that's on them. But nobody should be.
But that's up to the individual. But we're not putting anything on. We're not. So let's stop. We're not putting anything on anything saying you can bring alcohol. I'm talking to specifically everyone. We are not putting anything on any flyer saying you can bring alcohol. At the same time, I'm not telling adults what you can and can't do. If you get put out of the park because you have alcohol, that's up to you. They're not putting the whole group out for anything like that. So, and don't be a problem. But yeah, we're not telling people they can't have alcohol. That's up to you. Okay?
I'm going to say no alcohol is permitted. That's what I'm going to say.
But we're not doing that.
Why not?
Because we're not putting on any flyer whether they can bring alcohol or not. That's not up to us. If they want to bring alcohol, it can't be out, and we can share that information with people. But I don't see why we would put on a flyer absolutely no alcohol.
Well, the reason I asked because we said we were going to have a event, and that was one of the decisions of how I determine whether or not I'm going to bring my child, is if people are drinking.
Yeah, I can't make people not drink. So I would say, because you can't control grown people like that. We can tell them what the park permits, but I can't control. I'm not going to remove somebody if they do it. So I don't know.
Does the park advertise no alcohol?
It specifically says that you cannot have an open container. So we need to follow the park rule.
I thought it said no alcohol on the premises, but I'll double check when I was there. But ultimately, let's stop. What would you like to have happen? Let's go there. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that if someone asks us, hey, no alcohol is permitted, but we're not going to go and look in people's container to see what you have. But if someone asks us, can you bring alcohol? No, you can't bring alcohol. And if they want to bring it, it's up to them. But as long as we say no, I'm not going to tell them, well, if it's not open, if it's no, you're just not allowed to bring it. But
Okay, we'll do that.
What you could do is publish what the permit says.
We'll do that.
I agree. I think that's good. And then let them decide,
And put them in connection with the site if they want to investigate further.
We'll do that.
All right.
We do need help with, Alvin, who is it that you said will be able to help us with advertising, like flyers and all of that? Social media?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the flyer.
Thanks.
Oh, you.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
So this crab feast event, this is strictly for membership?
Yeah.
Okay, so strictly for, so it's not like we're inviting
You can,
all.
yeah, anybody can come, but it's free for all financial members of the chapter. So if you paid your $50 dues, it's free to you.
Right, so
For
but it's
young
being advertised to the public? Or?
Well,
Okay.
we're not necessarily putting it out to the public. We're advertising it on our venue, and it's a free event for all financial members of the chapter. So let's say we look at your family, you and your spouse. For you it's free. If your spouse wants to come, if he wants to become a financial member of the chapter, then it's $50 for him too. If your kids want to come, we didn't have a price set for kids, but
So that's my question. I missed, is there a price for non-members?
they would become a member. They would
No.
be.
If someone wanted to come to the event, what's the price?
It's $50 if they want to become a financial member of the chapter. If they don't want to be a member of the chapter, my suggestion was $65.
Oh, okay. So that's what I missed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But they haven't put out a price. Ultimately, we need a price for the kids as well. So if they don't want to be a member of the chapter, obviously it would be higher. If they, for the kids, I don't know what that would be. I don't feel like kids should be at the same price, like 20, something like that or less. So
All right.
ultimately,
that's still being discussed. Okay. I just
that's still being discussed, but so we haven't released any price yet for the kids.
Okay, so are we saying you pay the 50 as a non-member and become a Fox?
No.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, you would be a Fox if you're not alumni. You're still a member of the chapter. So we have Fox members of the chapter already.
I think what he's saying is the money that you pay to come, you're basically paying dues. So when you pay, so you basically become a member at the crab feast.
Correct.
So it's to boost membership.
Correct. You are becoming a member at the crab feast if you want to pay $50. But if they don't want to pay that and they want to pay the higher amount, they wouldn't be a member, but they can come to the crab feast. Were there additional questions regarding the crab feast?
So it sounds like, is everyone like 12 to 4 seems like a good time to have it?
Yes.
Sounds like a good time. Yeah.
Okay.
And it sounds like we just got me and Elegant got some work to do in a sense of just with the food and stuff, to just go back and get that to get like the amount of money that we'll need. So we don't want any of the Xavier members to try to donate anything. I know since it's they're not supposed to be covering anything. Is that the goal ultimately, that the chapter pays everything?
I don't understand what you mean by members.
I'm sorry, like
things.
for donations and stuff. If the Xavier members, Xavierites want to like contribute, like let's say utensils and stuff like that. I mean, it's all right that they do that. I know we want free to members, but it's okay for the Xavierites to donate that stuff, right? We can ask for that.
I think we were okay with package items if it was something like the forks, or if they want to go to Costco and pick up cookies or something. I think that will work, because the ultimate goal is, of course, to keep the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold. So rather than having someone to bring their home dish, let them bring a package item, and that would make it easier.
So then what would be the solution for sides if we're going with just packaged gifts? I mean, we're not going to have.
You better bring from somewhere.
Let me say this, because I don't want us to get caught up in the minutia of this event. This is for ultimately Elegant and Alvin to decide what the menu is that they want to have. if people want to donate items from that, I think first we need what's going to be there other than the crab feast, right? So then we need to determine what type size you're thinking you would like to have, so that we can figure out what the amount is that it would cost us for that. Because I don't want to tell people, hey, come to this free event and by the way, pay for something. So no, this is a free membership event if you're a financial member. So I would like for you to determine, outside of the crab feast, determine what additional sides you would like to have. And whether or not someone brings cookies or things like that, all of those things are later.
Okay.
Hot things staying hot and cold things staying cold. We're providing racks and sternos. So that's not written down anywhere, but we're fine with keeping things hot, and we're providing ice. So we can, if there's something that has to be on ice, we can do that. But what will be offered, I'm asking for you guys to determine what that would be, so we can determine the budget for it.
Not a problem.
Okay, yeah, not a problem there. So the only thing I would say is that, for what I can see is that, is anyone willing to volunteer their grill services that either is a good griller or can bring a grill to the event? That's one thing I would just ask, so we can know.
Well, let's figure that out later, because this is March. And so whether or not someone can bring a grill, we have all the way up until the day of. If someone wants to grill, if they don't, then we just don't. We'll still have plenty of hot food if nobody wants to grill.
I want to grill. I'm working on the grill.
Again?
I can grill. I'm just working on how to get the grill.
Oh.
Because remember, I'm up in Baltimore. So
Oh,
I'm talking about me traveling 40 miles with a grill.
Well, the reason why I say that is that if we do have a person that can grill or designated, then that changes us how we can go out and buy stuff. You know, you can go out and buy hot dogs, you can buy hamburgers, you know, we go, you know, and then we bring it, get it seasoned, of course, and then we bring it. But I just wanted to get a feel for that. If someone's willing to grill, if we had to get a grill, we'll find how to get a grill there if that's what's needed. But
Well,
I just
let's also just put out a request to the chapter, so we can, if you would like, write up what your request is, and then we can send that out to the chapter on our different social media sites and ask for someone who's willing to grill for our upcoming crab feast. This is what we're looking for. So if there's some items that we're looking for, let's put that out and say we need someone to do this, but we're probably not going to resolve it on this call.
I got you. I was just throwing it out there.
I move that everything be tabled to committee.
Alex Williams, second.
All right, well then that's moved and second. We do have a quorum. Was if anybody wants to just raise their hand on the chat to table this to committee. All righty. So I'm sorry, go ahead. Somebody asked me a question.
No, I was just saying, move it to the committee. It's a committee decision.
It has been tabled to the committee. So the next thing is chapter election nominations. So that's what's next. I am going to scroll through. Here we go, chapter nominations. So per the bylaws, the officers are elected during the second quarter of the calendar year prior to homecoming. This is the second quarter we're going into. That's going to be in May. They are elected for a term of 2 years, and office of president and vice president are limited to 2 consecutive terms in the same elected office. In the absence of a suitable candidate for officer positions, the incumbent shall serve on an interim basis until an elected replacement is made. So what I have here, I included information about all of the positions, and I'm going to send a copy of this out to everyone. But This is the time for us to make chapter nominations. Did anyone have anyone they wanted to nominate?
You're still going to be in the area?
I'm only going to be in the area until I'm not.
I have a point I want to make.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Elise. I would suggest that in light of the events that are going on right now, and for continuity, that we defer the chapter elections until a later date. I think that this is going to happen all over for a lot of chapters and for a lot of, even for the National Alumni Association, so that we can continue our business in a very orderly fashion, as we would with new offices, but it just make it a little bit easier, I think. And that's just my suggestion. And if everybody can stay in place until we foresee another date, maybe it's September or something like that, we'd still be in time to do it with the National Alumni Association meeting. Did anybody hear me? My computer may be shutting off.
No, I can hear you, but at least is this a motion?
Yes. I would make a motion that we defer the elections, nominations and elections for DMV chapter alumni club number 5 until a later date to be determined as soon as possible.
I'll second.
Third.
No, we're not doing thirds. That was a joke, right? Yeah.
If everybody who is in office can agree with that and hold on, it would be for the better of our club and all of what we're trying to do in getting through this particular COVID-19 crisis.
So this would be, I just want to make sure I'm clear, this is deferring until September. So the elections would take place at our September meeting.
Well, not necessarily. I think we could evaluate what's going on and determine. And if it's possible to hold it in September, to be in compliance with whatever bylaws, but or whatever National Alumni Association requirements are, and meeting that deadline for that meeting in November, I think it would be well understood and well taken.
Okay, so
my computer's shutting down, by the way, and I don't know what's happening, but it keeps on giving me a signal about I may be losing contact. But anyway, I'll try to hang on as long as possible.
Okay. So
okay, I have I guess a statement in my official capacity. I see you put it up there, but we do have to have officers, unfortunately, elected in June, because those bylaws actually say the second quarter, which is April, May, and June. So we would have to have a bylaw change, which is, akin to changing the Constitution in order for that to be done. So unfortunately, we do have to have an election by June, or we have to amend the bylaws.
Then the feeling is, my feeling anyway, is that in extenuating circumstances like this, sometimes we can do things without making major changes in bylaws. And the National Alumni Association has gone through a lot of changes with bylaws and stuff like that. This is an unusual occurrence. We could still have and considering that, just postpone things for a little while instead of going through all of those changes.
Unfortunately, with all the bylaws change, we cannot do that. You cannot suspend the rule of order just on a whim, because I realize we're in a different situation, but That's why we have the bylaws, to make sure that the rules are followed in all cases. It just so happens that this is something that we would like to change, but we have to follow rules.
In that light, we don't have to have it today. We still have up until June, so we can at least put
Exactly.
it off
So we
until
can still
June.
do it.
So we're not having the election today. This was just the nomination for the open positions: president, vice president, recording secretary, corresponding secretary, financial secretary, treasurer, parliamentarian. So today is not the election. This is just nominations for these positions, and the elections wouldn't actually take place until our next meeting in May, which will also be virtual, because that will meet the 2-month requirement of for quarantine. So just looking for your nomination. So what go ahead,
sorry.
Kristen.
Because I've definitely missed a lot of meetings. Do you have a slide with who are currently holding these positions so we could check in with the person just to ensure? Because like I wouldn't mind nominating myself for like possibly parliamentarian or recording secretary, but I just wanted to check with someone to
So
see what the position entails to make sure I can do what is required.
So we don't have a slide of the people who currently hold these positions. That's a great question. I did not make a slide for that. Current president is myself, Denise. The vice president is Jamila Terry. Corresponding secretary is Amber Robbins. We do not have a recording secretary. Our financial secretary is Elise Nichols. Our treasurer is Andre Parker. Our parliamentarian is Teron Mercadale. So what this deck shows is, and let me see if I'll push this out to all the participants here on Zoom. But what the deck shows is what's required for these positions.
Okay.
I don't know that anyone currently has plans to stay in their position. So those of us who are currently officers have been in this position for 2 years.
Are there any holes that need to be filled?
Yeah, we right now don't have a recording secretary. Our corresponding secretary is not going to continue, so that is definitely a hole that needs to be filled. President is open. I'm the president. That is a hole that will need to be filled. I don't know if Jamila is intent on running again. So, but what I would say to everyone, all of these positions are open. So between president and parliamentarian, every position is open and available if you have a desire to serve. Please do so.
So
Yeah, I
go
think
ahead,
you
sorry.
should call for the offices and call for nominees, write them down, and then move that the nominations be closed once we get the categories filled.
So thank you for that. Currently, that's what we're asking for, nominations for officers.
So you want us to text in the box? Because again, I don't know who's wanting to stay. I would want to try to, for me, help to fill the holes.
Okay.
So that means that I need to write down that I would nominate myself for recording secretary.
Okay.
Because I'm on my phone. Am I typing this in the little chat box?
You can if you want to. Everything is recorded. So this ultimately is going on our YouTube site. So that's what we're using, as we don't have a recording secretary. So that's where I'm taking the information from. So right now, the presidential slot, I can tell you, it's open. I do not have plans to run. My plan is to, when things open up again, is to leave the country. So the president is open. If Jamila is still online, she could tell us if she's interested in keeping her position. At least while you're here, you can tell us if you're interested in remaining financial secretary. Andre Parker, can you tell us Theron Mercadale, can you tell us?
I would like to nominate, this is Elise, I would like to nominate Reginald Salter for president. And I would like to stay in position. And Jamila for vice president. And Andre for treasurer, to continue as treasurer, and Theron for parliamentarian.
Okay, we have to have acceptances by those people that were nominated.
This is Jamila Terry. I respectfully decline the nomination for vice president.
And Denise, you don't look at me like that. What are you doing?
We're waiting on you to accept.
No, we're waiting on you to accept your nomination for president.
Well, I'd rather support you for president if you're still going to be here.
I will offer as much help to you as you need.
You're not answering my question.
What was the question?
I would like to nominate you if you're going to still be in the area.
I am going to be in the area, but if you nominate me, I will decline because I do not want to remain president. I want to continue to help, but not as president.
Okay. In that case, I'll accept it.
And Theron, are you willing to stay in your position?
Yes, I am. I'm interested in the vice president position.
Okay, so you want to nominate yourself for vice president then?
Yeah, I think I'll help Reginald out.
Excellent. Andre Parker, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, okay, yes. I'm going to respectfully decline as the treasurer.
Okay, so we have a nomination for president. We have a nomination for vice president. Kristen, you're interested in corresponding or recording secretary?
I want to say recording, but I just want to make sure if you can send me information or if there's a slide with, again, the responsibilities of the two.
So this is what the secretary is responsible for?
Okay.
And this is what the corresponding secretary is responsible for.
I will do recording secretary.
Okay. I would also like to suggest, as I'm reviewing these, that we probably need to review our bylaws again as well, because I see here where it says serve as a technology resource to the executive board. This was specific to Stephen Johnson because he was a technology resource. But I don't know if it's fair to expect that of everyone.
Yeah, I'm not an IT person. So it's like, I'll just take the notes.
Yeah, so I think we will probably need to revisit our bylaws because where I enjoy technology, I don't see where other people would be able to manage this in the same way. Okay, so
Maybe
we have
could just make that a special appointment, you know, the IT manager, a special appointment instead of a responsibility of an officer.
So that would require a change to the bylaws as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So right now we still have the office of corresponding secretary. We still do not have a treasurer, and we have the office of parliamentarian. All of those positions are available.
I would like to nominate Calandra Tate for the treasurer if she would accept.
It's been a long time since I was DMV treasurer, but I'll accept. I'll do it again.
Thank you.
And the corresponding secretary, that's a job that can be done remotely, so I'll nominate Denise Dunn. You can accept now. Go ahead.
You know what?
Yes.
I'll accept. I will accept corresponding secretary.
Good. So we don't have to change the bylaws.
I will accept correspondence secretary.
I agree with you.
We still have an outstanding position for parliamentarian.
What about Alvin? I would like to nominate Alvin, the parliamentarian.
What's that? Well, let me see that.
I'm going to say as well, this is a really important position. I have absolutely I'm not the Roberts Rules person other than when people slap my hand in meetings. So it's a really useful, really helpful position. It's very, very necessary. This is the office of parliamentarian. And if anybody else is on the line, Benora, Nafisa, who is D Nice? Any of these people, if any of you are interested in the parliamentarian position, Lorian, we could please nominate yourself. But this is an outstanding position. We do need to get it filled.
I
Alvin,
nominate that patent officer, Alex Williams, down there, who's being quiet.
Alex Williams.
So we had two people who have been nominated for parliamentarian position, Alvin and Alex. Are you accepting the nomination?
You talking to Alex?
Yes.
Alex still dealing with this 6-year-old right now. I have to wait a couple years.
Okay, that sounds like a decline. Alvin, are you accepting the nomination for parliamentarian?
Okay, I already know a little bit about it, but I will accept. I will accept.
Excellent. So these are the people nominated for the officer positions. I don't think that we need to close this today, do we? Can we leave this open for the whole of the week, and then we send out a notification, and then ultimately we can move forward with putting these people on the ballot for election?
You can actually leave it open until our next meeting in May.
Okay. Excellent.
We don't have to close it until right before the election. So if we happen to come across someone else or something else comes up, I think we have enough time to do that.
Okay. So we do have a slate, initial slate of officers nominated, and I'll include the information regarding the positions and that the nomination period is going to remain open till May in our April updates email that goes out from the chapter. All right. I'm going back to the agenda. So the next thing is announcements. So again, the next election is on May the 16th, 2020. That's again going to be a Zoom meeting. Give Love Xavier again was postponed. I don't have a final date for that. I'm waiting for them to tell us if it's going to be on May the 9th. The leadership conference has not yet been canceled or postponed. It's still scheduled for Houston, June 25th. Not as much thought has been given to it just because of everything else going on. The HBCU walk run, the 2K walk, 5K run is scheduled for July 11th at Freedom Plaza. Please sign up, register for the event. This is a family event. Everybody can come out, and 100% of your registration counts as scholarship monies for the chapter. So it's a way to get in shape, have fun, and raise money for the chapter at the same time. Our freshman send-off is currently scheduled for August 1st, 2020. And we do not have a location yet. It needs to hold at least 150 people. Tentatively, we're looking at the library at Howard University, which is pretty large. So we're hopeful that we'll get that space. The next large event we have on here is homecoming, which is November 4th through the 8th. Of course, between that, we have our first meeting of the fall, which is in September 3rd, always the third Saturday in September. And that's pretty much it as far as announcements that I had. Did anybody else have any announcements? Okay. I am going to send all of you this meeting deck. And I think that could possibly, I'm going to drop it in here. So everybody should have a copy of the PowerPoint that we went through. I just put it in the chat. Does anyone have any other questions? If not, we can close out the meeting at 12:03 p.m.
Thanks, Denise.
You're very welcome.
Move for adjournment.
Looking for one more person.
Second.
Thank you, Reggie, for the second. Moved and seconded. I will adjourn the meeting at 12:04 p.m. Everyone enjoy a great day.
You too. Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Yes, wash your hands. Flatten the curve.
Gargle with salt water. It's good for you. Warm salt water.
Oh my goodness.
Be safe, guys.
Yeah. Bye. I'm gonna end the meeting. Stop.
What's the-